Hi, this is Joe Gruender once again. This is video 4-2. In the previous video 4-1, I had mentioned to you I did sell 100 shares of AVGO on the 25th of February at 113.60. The purpose of this second video is to tell you why I did not exit the full position of 200 shares, why I kept 100 shares to be in the trade after earnings announcement. There were two things that caught my attention just prior to making the final decision, and let's take a look at what they were. One of the things I like to do is to check what are the earnings announcements, news announcements prior to earnings announcement. In this case, I notice here that on the 23rd, this is a couple days before earnings release, that Morgan Stanley sees AVGO Technologies Q1 beat new markets. So what I did, I reviewed this news article, and it was very positive that based on their analysis, their research, they felt that AVGO would have a good beat of their forecasted estimates for this earnings season. So that gave me a positive indication that it might be worth holding on to at least 100 shares of stock to see what happens after the earnings announcement. Another thing I noticed up here at 10:24, there was an options alert that AVGO April 115 strike calls 100 contracts were traded, and this is very unusual for AVGO. So somebody might know something. So I thought, well, maybe I should look more into depth on what is this all about. So let's take a look at that. So on the Thinkorswim platform, I went over to time and sales on the AVGO options to see what it looks like. In other words, were a lot of calls being sold or not? And when I got there, I looked at today's options. This was the 25th. And I noticed here that there were 2,500 call options on the April 15, 115 strike, and also another 2,477 at the April 15, 115 strike, and their calls also. And of course, both of these are spreads. So this is very unusual. You can see I sorted this based on volume, and two of the biggest trades actually happened at this time. So to me, that is a clue that somebody might know something. They're putting a considerable amount of money into these spread trades for 2,500 and 2,477 contracts, which that's a lot of contracts. So that was my second indication that it might be worth sticking around through this earnings announcement to see what happens. Fortunately, I did hold on to 100 shares, and these are the announcements that took place shortly after the close. Of course, the close is at 1300, 1 o'clock. California time, and as you can see here, the announcement was made that AVGO Technologies was going to acquire Emulex Corporation for $8 per share. And of course, this was well received by many traders and investors. That was the big announcement, and that had a tremendous impact on the price. And I was very thankful that I at least saved 100 shares. I'll show you what I mean. As you can see here, immediately after the announcement, had a tremendous rise in the price of the stock, going from 114 immediately up to close to 120. During the night, it pulled back a little, and then the next day it popped open way up here. So that was a tremendous move overnight. So I thought what I'll do is grab my profits on my remaining 100 shares of stock, which I did sell at 125.80. shortly after the open. But I'll go into more detail for you because some of you I know are interested in becoming day traders, and I can show you how this would have worked out as a great day trade. Okay, now looking at a 5-minute chart, you can see the first 100 shares was sold here at 113.60. I kept the 100 shares. In fact, I don't know why this is showing up here. This is actually back here. So I guess when I shifted from the hourly to the 5-minute chart, it got out of scale, but it was sold prior to earnings announcement. The other then at the opening, or within a few minutes after the opening, I sold the remaining 100 shares at 125.80 to take advantage of this gap up situation from the previous day. It was quite a significant increase, as you can see on this chart. Now, I know some of you are interested in day trading, so let me show you what I tried, but it did not work for me. I was a little too greedy. Okay, I'm sure this is going to blow the minds of some of you guys because you're not day traders, but here we're going to zero in, as you can see here, on the 1-minute chart. Let me see if I can pull up this information here. This is all I'm interested in for this explanation. As you can see here, this is where I sold. Then I knew price was going to pull back, and I was looking to buy this once again right here where it went to the support line. So let's see if we can get a closer look at that. Oh, well, let's check it out even closer. Okay, as you can see, I felt that the price was going to pull back to this is a 10-period moving average. Some people use the 9-period moving average. Either one is good. As you can see, it pulled back, and I put an order in at up here at 125.25, something in this area for 300 shares, because I thought we could get at least another 2 points out of it. Unfortunately, the bid did not get down to that price, or at least on not enough shares that were being traded, so my 300 shares was not bought. I could not buy them, and therefore this is roughly a 3%, or excuse me, a 3-point move here that I missed out on. The other thing I want to point out to you is the power of the 50-period moving average. You see here this dark blue line here. This is my rainbow indicator. The official name is different. Where is it? The ribbon indicator. I call it the rainbow, but it's a ribbon indicator on your Thinkorswim platform. But as you can see here, price, after going up here, would frequently, it pulls back to the 50-period moving average. In this case, it kissed it. It came right back a little below it, and that would have been a great time to pick up some additional shares, because as you can see here, then it went up again. So you could have picked up. I unfortunately was out doing my walk and doing other things because I don't want to be tied down to my computer all day long like I did many years ago. But that's another 4-point run right there. So if you're a day trader, here's a 3-point run. Here's another 4-point run. You could have picked up probably a good 2.5 points out of this, and maybe even 3 points out of this. So that would have been, a good 5-6 points. And if I had the 300 shares as I had planned to buy, that was $1,800. So, but most of us don't day trade, and I'm sure many of you are not interested in day trading. So that gives you some tips on what you would have done and what I actually did in the trade. And in closing, let me just show you the specifics on the numbers. Okay, let's take a look at the specific transactions. Here's the AVGO purchase on the 12th of February, 200 shares for an investment of $21,873. Here are the two sales, 100 shares on the 25th for $113.60, and another exit on the next day, the 26th, for at $125.80. Total proceeds $23,940. Profit for this trade was $2,066. That equates to approximately 9.4% in 11 trading days. So it's not a home run, but it's a nice base hit. I'm sure some of you out there would like to pick up an extra $2,000 in a trade, and you can have several of these on at one time. So I hope you enjoyed looking and watching my sequence of events in AVGO. I'll probably be picking up another one or two this evening or maybe tomorrow. I'm a little concerned about the market. It looks like it has peaked a couple days ago, and so I'm going to be a little conservative for the next few days until we see if this is going to be a larger pullback or not. So thank you for tuning in once again. I'm here, Joe Gruender, to help, especially your novice and your newer traders. So check back often at investorshelp.net. I sure appreciate you coming to our website and clicking as you do on ads of interest to you, because they do help our special kids in the Philippines, and my wife and I are heading back again in November this year. So we're going to gather up school supplies and toothpaste and toothbrushes, and believe it or not, some candy also for the kids. So anyway, that's enough of that. Thank you again. You have a great weekend, and let's have a profitable week. You take care. Bye for now.